it is what it is. There's nothing really else to say. I guess we can go into JT Daniels' situation. We saw JT Daniels. He played all right. Didn't really get to see him as much as what we'd like to see, especially a lot of Georgia fans want JT Daniels to be the guy. And it's just hard for him to just jump back in it. But this is Missouri. Missouri's just not a good team. And all of his passes were really, really simple, short routes. Again, he tried to go deep. He did convert a third. He converted a fourth down. That was fourth and short. But he also converted like a third down and long. I think Brock Bowers caught that pass. He completed it for about 15 yards. But that's really about it. He had that one interception. It wasn't a bad read at all. JT Daniels is one of the best quarterbacks in the country when it comes to reading the defense and adjusting offensive alignment pre-snap. He might even be the best. But it was more on accuracy on that throw. It was clearly behind Jermaine Burton. And it was clearly unlucky. It deflected off a Missouri helmet too, which does blow. And of course it got intercepted. So, but other than that, I mean, he played as well as what you'd think. Stetson Bennett. Listen, some of the throws that he's been making the past 2 weeks have been very questionable. Give him credit for the Arian Smith throw. That was a pretty solid touchdown pass. The Jermaine Burton catch, both of them really. He had no business throwing those balls, in my opinion. One of them was a 50-50 ball, so I understand that. And Jermaine Burton will beat almost any Missouri defensive back one-on-one. So I understand that, I guess. But when you're playing teams like Alabama, or even if Auburn and Texas A&M somehow get to Atlanta, you cannot be making those throws. That's just simple. A&M is playing right now. That game's kicked off. It's about halfway through the first. A&M's got the ball, I believe. But anyway, you can't be making those throws against those defensive backs. Again, it looks like Stetson Bennett's going to be the starter for Georgia. As a Georgia fan, it is what it is. You just look at his stats. If you did not watch this game, you look straight at the stats, you're like, wow, amazing. He had a really good game, blah, blah, blah. But you just watch him and watch his decision-making. It's just been a little bit questionable. Last week, it did hurt Last week, it did hurt Stetson Bennett. He threw 2 terrible interceptions to a backup Florida safety. This week, it didn't. It worked out. So, again, you're playing Missouri. Missouri's one of the worst defensive teams in the country. Before this game, Missouri was rated in the 110s in total defense. They were 120th in scoring defense. They were dead last in rush defense. So, again, we expected a lot of points for Georgia. We expected a lot of yards. And we did expect a lot of rushing yards. We didn't get that today, again, like I said earlier. But still scored 43 points. Still dominated this game. Again, pretty much doubled Missouri in total offense, in total yards. Missouri had the ball a little bit longer, about 4 minutes longer than Georgia. And that's because they went on those long – they towards the end of the game, they went on those longer drives. Their last drive – or the drive that they got a field goal, they took almost 8 minutes. And then the drive before that, when they missed the field goal, they took 6 minutes. So there is that. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this game.